Hey guys, and welcome to Invert Aim, gaming news done differently. I'm Feisty Cuffs, this is Brendan, and this is Ryan, and guys, we're back again for another week. How's it going?
Mate, I am excited to be here. It's been a hell of a week. Been playing that Cuphead, which we're going to be talking about later. Still hunting that elusive chicken dinner. It's hashtag Stay Hungry's alive and well in the Brendan White residence. We're going to get it. So many second places last week. So many.
So
3 weeks
close.
in a row, no chicken dinners.
Yeah, keep a count, guys.
I actually played Fortnite the other day as well, the Battle Royale.
What do you think?
Scuffed.
How was it?
It's a bit scuffed.
Really?
Yeah, not so good. I shot a guy, we have a clip of me shooting a guy in the face with a shotgun, and it did nothing. But yeah, I've just been playing WoW. We got down a really hard boss, Fallen Avatar and Mythic, so one more boss to go for this raid tier, so hopefully we'll get it down before the new content comes out.
When's new content coming out?
We're thinking January, I think. There's one more raid tier left in this expansion, and then it's sort of the end of Warcraft. Which is pretty exciting.
It's never the end of Warcraft.
like-
There's a lot more stories that they can
Never.
do, but the sort of 13 years of the last World of Warcraft is the ends coming up. So what have you been playing or doing this week?
Dude, no surprises. I'm back in Overwatch getting ready for those Halloween skins and that sweet event that's coming up. It's going to be great.
The sweet
Is this
event.
the Overwatch shuffle?
I can't. Yeah, it's like a good feeling in my body, and it just needs to come out in a
Gonna
little
spend
dance.
my
Ooh.
hard-earned money on skins.
Yeah, loot boxes. Can't wait.
All right, so the first thing I wanted to talk about today is the game that never says die, keeps on coming out in every iteration known to man. That game is known as Skyrim. It has been confirmed that it is getting a survival mode. What do you think? This game's been out since 2011. It is on every platform known to man. It's about to drop on Nintendo Switch, I think around middle of November. Maybe iOS down the line. Who the hell knows? But Skyrim, you fans, you excited to maybe dive back into this world and attack this survival mode? Or do you just think this is a bit of throwaway news?
Dude, I love Skyrim. I have lived so many lives in there. Any excuse to come back. Like, they're so good. I'm like, I'm trying to quit you, baby. And every time they're like, hey, come on back. And I'm just like a chump.
Sneaky,
Can't say
sneaky
no to the
Bethesda,
booty
eh?
call from
Yeah.
Skyrim. I love those guys.
What on a sort of unrelated note, what sort of class race do you usually find yourself specialising and playing as predominantly?
It depends. One of my favorites been a Khajiit, but murdering all other Khajiits, so I'm the only Khajiit left. I don't know why. It's some sort of immersion power fantasy. I have.
Khajiit's like the cat race, for those that don't know.
Yeah.
They're-
Khajiit know nothing.
Yeah, they walk on their hind legs, walk as like a humanoid, but yeah, they got a tail.
Yeah.
They look like a leopard, really.
I just love the racism that's embedded within the game. So if you're like a dark elf or a high elf or a human or whatever, like it affects your actual gameplay, and it's kind of a lot of fun.
You like the racism.
Well, I don't like the racism, but I like it in terms of immersion, how it can
I get it. Yeah.
complicate my life or make it easier, you know.
absolutely.
So yeah.
I actually play the cat people as well. I couldn't have told you the
man.
name. I just call them the cat people. But I generally end up playing like an archer class, which are pretty scuffed, unfortunately. But
Scuff, for those people that still have no idea, means kind of crap.
yeah, kind of crap.
Why is it kind of crap? Like, I love
Well,
it.
they're seen as one of the worst classes. If you look at like most games
It's hard
have like
to solo
a tier
as
list.
an archer. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah. So, and I always end up just getting killed by guards anyway, because I'll go around and kill a chicken or something, and then guards kill me. I'm like, I just want to kill a chicken. It's not a big deal.
Just get buff. Just
Yeah,
get good.
true.
Yeah.
But I guess to answer your question, I don't know. It seems exciting. I think that they're smart to jump on the hype train. Obviously the Battle Royale format for any game right now is huge. We've got, obviously PUBG doing it, Play Battlegrounds Unknown. We've got Fortnite, we've got DayZ, we've got H1Z1. Skyrim is obviously one of the bigger games that's out there. Like you said, it just doesn't die. There's always something coming out, or there's always like a card game coming out or something. And then moving forward, I think that it's smart for them to make a Battle Royale format. It's just depending on how
Not
it's going
Battle
to play.
Royale.
It's survival mode.
Like if we're talking original DayZ. You know,
Okay.
where you've got to eat and stay warm.
Yeah, stay
or
alive,
like
yeah.
Ark, you've got to stay warm, stay clothed,
Okay.
hydrated, fed, things like that. So
Yeah. So when
isn't
you
bad.
go, yeah,
I
I mean,
stole a lot of cheese in my Skyrim days. It was
oh, yeah,
always
just
cheese
nibble,
everywhere,
nibble,
it
nibble.
seemed like.
Yeah.
Which is funny because I hate cheese. But anyway.
Brendan the cheese.
I always-
cheese.
Like blocks of cheese and things like if you were to say, oh, let's go have cheese and crackers or like cheese and wine dates, I'd be like, you're a wanker. 1, and 2, I don't like cheese.
We've been friends for 10 years. This might change
new.
things. Forget Elder Scrolls.
Just means more cheese for
Sky.
you.
Yeah, that's true.
It works. I'm not
That's
a
true.
cheese eater, so
See?
it's all for you, man.
2-1, mate.
You guys make me sick.
I'm kind of excited for the diminished pack, like the backpack space, because I used to be one of those people who would like hoard all my dragon bones and then just like eat that one berry to like lose that 1 gram or whatever. Just like hoard my loot.
Yeah, like so it's $8
just be
US to buy this survival mode. There's
okay.
a free 1-week trial before having to pay via the Creation Club. I love Skyrim. I love this concept, but I don't know if it's enough for me to dive back in. I don't think I've played Skyrim in any way, shape or form for maybe 3 years now, maybe 4. Because it's been out 6+ years. Just give us Elder Scrolls 6 already, god damn it. That's what I want. Piss off with your survival offshoots and your VR and all this. Give me a new game.
Really? Like this is really smart from my opinion, because one, it's going to get people pumped for Skyrim 6, and also it's like getting us excited for the VR mode that's going to come out for Skyrim. So it's good for them just to stay relevant, just
You look
at the
so
forefront of
heartbroken.
our minds.
I just want a new game. I want a new game. I love with these big open world RPG games, like I play through once, I do everything, I create the story, my character, you evolve as you play, and I don't want to repeat that. Unless there's new content coming out, I don't want to go back and start as a new character. I'm usually like very loyal to my first created character. We experience things.
What do you play, Brendan?
Yeah.
In that one, I did Redguard, which is sort of sort of more melee-based character, mostly sword, shield sort of thing, or dual wielding.
Meat shield.
So front line, just hack and slash. So Redguard or Nord was the 2 I was playing with Skyrim.
Yeah, makes sense.
Fair enough. Yeah. I don't know, like I've played so many different lives and they've all been very different experiences, and it's kind of nice that there's going to be more.
What do you guys
Just
think?
really want to go there.
Let us know. You're going to play it? You're going to try and survive?
Hit us up with your Skyrim stories. Whether
There should be a few.
random glitches, funny occurrences, random battles.
Dying to chickens.
Jeff Kaplan came out this week saying it's a little bit hard to talk to the gaming community via online forums due to constant feedback. Is this something that game developers owe us? Is this a right that we expect? Guys, what do you think?
I think the big thing with this is I think that there's too much of a power shift right now in a sense of community. So people that don't understand what's going on, he made a post sort of coming out and saying that people in the gaming community have way too much power in a sense of they're very, very, very intimidating, I think is the key point that he's trying to make. I'm sure that Brendan will probably have some quotes of the things that he said. But long story short, he's saying that like they can't really talk about the game at all. I know that he talks a lot about in the post that he made that Overwatch is a passion project at the end of the day. It is just taken off and now one of the biggest games in the world. They have a team of 100 people. And they can't talk about anything that they either enjoy or don't enjoy the game. They can't talk about anything that they can't point out, like little things in the game, because then if it doesn't get changed or if they don't do anything about it, or if they say, I really enjoy this gun, and then if that gun doesn't come out, right, they can't talk about it on social media. If he says, oh, look at this gun, wouldn't that be cool to have in Overwatch? Because then if it doesn't come in, thousands of people rip them apart and, say bad things to them because they're like, oh, you tweeted about that gun, why isn't it in the game now? They can't have any sort of personal account at all, you know what I mean? So
yeah, they're worried that if they commit or respond to these forum posts, they won't be able to take it back, as one of the things that Jeff was mentioning. There was one particular poster, Vanaganda, sorry if I butchered that Blizzard user, but he was sort of saying how he can understand that devs have to choose their words carefully and can't respond to every question, but it's a little bit on the nose to him and countless other users that these blue posts, which are usually highlighted by members of the Blizzard team, you don't see them frequently at all or regular in any sort of stretch of the imagination. So large collective threads with hundreds of posts on one topic, constantly, as he says, go ignored. So I get both sides of the fence on this one. I know I don't like to straddle the line, but yeah, it is a risk, I guess, especially if you've got maybe typically forum moderators or sort of people that are writing on behalf of a company. They're usually lower on the totem pole, obviously.
Yeah.
So they will try to do their best to respond to everybody and be as positive as they can. Maybe they will let things slip or say things incorrectly, and then that's part of the record forever.
But my thing is that when like Blizzard aren't silent. We get the quarterly video updates or a video update almost with every patch. So they're not ignoring the fan base and ignoring and not telling us what they're doing. They're just not being as active on the forum posts. And part of me thinks, like, isn't that the community manager's job to really facilitate those conversations?
I think that one of the big key points here, though, with this whole situation is I think that, in a sense, the community has, or they think they're entitled to way too much compared to what they are. So the way that it works with Blizzard forums is there's blue posts, which every blue post, what happens is it'll get highlighted, goes on websites like MMO Champion. You can see every blue post that's ever made. They're sort of like highlighted by bots or highlighted by websites. So you can see everything that a blue post says. And then in the forum access, they have MVPs, which are the people that respond to majority of the things, right? So that's literally their job, is to respond to people in the forums, right? And Blizzard in general, like not being like a Blizzard fanboy, because I love Blizzard games, right? But not being a fanboy, they are so good at responding to their community. But the problem is people have this idea now that if they don't listen to every single idea that they have, they're ruining the game or they're doing this, right?
You're saying you're worried about the community as a whole taking too much power and they're expecting and demanding too much. The fact that Blizzard aren't available 24/7 to answer every single question, no matter how big or small.
The big thing here, and I'm probably talking way too much, but it's something that I can easily sort of relate to with streaming, right, is World of Warcraft is another game that we have this sort of thing,
This
right?
game again.
World of Warcraft is one where we have a lot of things where people in the community want different things, right? And there's been plenty of days where I've had 1,000+ people in the chat, and I've said, as a community here, let's try and come up with one idea that we all want for the game to change, right? And we all agree on it. Every single person here is like, that's a good thing. We should have that in there, and give a valid response if you don't want it in there. Not just like, nah, that idea sucks.
Yeah,
not
constructive criticism.
Exactly, right? Not once in 4 years has, as a community, and my community is pretty civil, pretty civil, have come up with an idea that we all agree on, right? Not once. So imagine that with millions of people, right? There's too many people in too many different directions, because for every forum post that has 100 pages of posts saying how much we want this to change, there's another forum post with 200 pages saying how much you don't want that to change. You know what I mean? So it puts devs in a completely unfair position, in my opinion. And they just get pulled in so many different directions. So that's my opinion on it.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I would rather let the devs do their work.
Yeah.
And let them get along on making a quality game, and let, the marketing or the public relations people or, whoever's doing socials, let them handle it. That's what their job is, to collate all this information and then feed it back to them. So, yeah.
I remember back in the day, we literally had like Arena Junkies, which was for PvP. And then we had like a few other websites where that was literally your sort of hub, right? And then there was the forums. Now there is Reddit, there is 4chan, there's all these other sub things that have their little gaming sort of section in it, right? And there'll be 1,000 posted. If one blue post comes out and one person reads it the wrong way, then there's 80,000 YouTube videos about what the mistake that they've made. Even though it's not a mistake, they just read it the wrong way in the wrong context, right? So, and then there's all these YouTube videos, there's all this backlash and all that sort of stuff, and it's completely something that's not true.
Got to be careful with every syllable you spit.
All right, so there was a Riot staff member this week fired over his toxic comments about a streamer called Tyler1. Anyone that watches Twitch, Tyler1's been around for quite some time. Definitely changed his persona quite a fair bit from back in the past. He's definitely been revitalised. He's a lot less toxic these days. The comments that were made was that he looks like a damn homunculus, and then it's fine because he's going to die of a cocaine overdose or die from testicular cancer anyway from all the steroid use. We Gucci. So, leading into that.
The English language has been destroyed more and more by people like this.
I don't know. I'd like to hear your guys' opinion on this. So the context of it was there was a Discord conversation from what we know, and he made a comment in there and someone leaked the conversation. He does work for Riot, and obviously Tyler1 is mainly a League of Legends streamer, obviously being a Riot game. And then he I know Tyler1 is banned on Riot, from League of Legends at the moment, but a Riot staff member said this about him in a comms call. So what do you guys think?
I mean, honestly, I'm it feel two ways about this, mainly because I don't know a lot about Tyler 1, to be completely frank. But from what I hear from you guys and from the small clippets that I've read online, it's that he's a toxic person. Do I think that it's good that Riot takes a stance? I mean, they have to. They're at the forefront of gaming. They have a very strict wellness policy and HR policy. I'm not really surprised that they've taken this stance against one of their employees. But, with this kind of becoming the norm, do we need a strike system almost, like a HR disciplinary chain of actions? I feel like, all these big corporations need to start getting their staff on the same page on what's acceptable, culture for their brand and what's not acceptable culture from their brand. And, they probably won't start losing their dream jobs as often. I feel like another week, another guy gets sacked,
Fair.
Yeah, I guess this is something that sort of we've been talking more and more throughout previous episodes as well, is companies are trying to avoid those PR nightmares. They don't want to be attached at the hip to staff that are spitting hate or being toxic or throwing shade or being negative, or not being all Gucci, as the cool kids say. I don't have an issue with it. No doubt there's probably more history to this. I doubt it was maybe just the one throwaway line, but it just shows the power of community. Like this Reddit user, Souls with about 17 Z's on the end of the name, posted on Reddit, and obviously he's got no real attachment. He's not a staff member of Riot or anything like that. He just screen capped this convo, chucked it up there, and then got this guy fired from his job. So it's funny that someone with almost so little power in the grand scheme of things can have so much power. But at the same time, something we've always been saying is don't be a dickhead. Be nice. Paraphrasing the legendary Russell Crowe, what we do in life echoes in eternity. I went there. Gladiator, great movie. But yeah, it's interesting, especially because Tyler 1, he's been banned, I think, for nearly 12 months now for
something like that,
sort of toxic culture and things like that already.
But I mean, hate breeds hate, right? You can't just fight fire with fire.
But here's the thing, right? So I'm gonna give you my opinion from a streamer point of view, right? So Tyler 1, the dude does lots of stuff on stream, whether it's scripted or not, right? He sort of has this persona of being fairly toxic, and he rages a lot, and he'll smash stuff, and he'll break things, and do all that sort of stuff,
big unit.
Yeah, he's a big unit. He's 5'3" or something like that, though. So he's a big unit, but he's
he's like my height.
Big for nothing. Yeah. So, but he's he seems like a nice dude when he's not being a character. You know what I mean? So he seems like a lovely guy. But look, I even from a streamer perspective, I want to try and relate, because he came out and he said it sucks he said that about me. But whatever, he's not mad about it or anything like that, right? So the thing for me is this Riot guy said it in a comms call outside of work stuff. It had nothing to do with his work. It had nothing to do with that, right? And I don't really think just to straight up fire him. It's a shitty thing that he said, right? There's no denying that it's a toxic thing that he said. But he said it in I guess what he thought was a private setting.
A little Discord community.
A little Discord, which I doubt it would have been a community. I don't think he'd be that dumb. But I imagine it was probably a closed-off group thing with maybe a few people only in there. And then he said it, and someone screen capped. It's not safe in any way, shape, or form, and it's his own fault. He's got no one else to blame but himself. But it's he can't even say anything in a private setting. You know what I mean? He didn't say this on a stream. He didn't say it in a voice comms in a sense of a voice. There's no audio recorder or anything like that. He just literally typed it in, which is dumb in the first place. And then someone screen capped it, put it on Reddit, and he loses his job.
Yeah, but you look at the escalation from Rutledge, who made this initial quote, and it's gone from he blamed himself, blamed the community, then he's saying they're calling it a witch hunt, it's ruined his life, and then he tries to defend the statements, saying it's a joke, people are taking it too far, and then when he realised it's just not helping his cause at all, then he finally turned around and said, I'm really sorry. So it's, there wasn't really any, I don't know if about honesty, it just felt like he sort of tried to dismiss this as a throwaway thing and then just kept piling on almost ammunition for people to further get pissed at him.
How he reacted to it, I don't really know, because I didn't look into it too much about how he actually reacted after the actual comment was made. I can only sort of say based off the comments that he originally made, it's I agree with you where I think there needs to be some sort of system where it's obviously if he posted it on Twitter, right, from his Riot staff account, then it's see you later, bro. You know what I mean? he posted this in what he thought was like a public setting, a private setting, and someone has sort of taken advantage of that. and then posted
but there'd be verbiage in a contract that would
Yeah.
say, your words reflect
That's what I mean.
that of
Like,
your employee.
He dug his own grave. There's no question there, right? But it's like, it's insane to me that there's no system for stuff like that, right? It's just straight up fired. Just get out of here.
Yeah, but you're never not on the clock for jobs these days.
Yep.
Yeah, and I guess that the other thing, it's like part of his job is that social media element where he is a figure and he is an ambassador of the game. And, to even have Riot in your username, like there is no way he can distance himself from anything he says. So
I definitely see both sides of this. I think it's quite a funny thing to sort of quote unquote report on, because it's like we just see this time and time again. You know what I mean? Like someone from a company goes out, says something dumb on the internet, and they reap what they sow. They get fired. They get taken away from a good opportunity. They lose sponsorships. People are doing all sorts of stuff. They PewDiePie is saying silly on the internet, loses loads and loads and loads of money. It's insane that this is just happening time and time and time again. So people got to learn. Stop saying silly things.
yeah, don't be a dick.
Yeah, don't be dickheads.
Well, that's it this week from us at Invert Aim. Skyrim DLC, are you guys going to be picking it up? And of course, who holds the power in the gaming community? And who got fired this week? Let us know your thoughts and more on social media, and we'll see you guys next week. Adios.
Much love.
Nah.